Welcome, friends. Jed here, of course, with my beautiful wife, Renee. Renee, how are you?
Hi, yeah. Thanks for being here, everyone. We're really excited to spend this time with you.
Now, I wanted to put Renee like this, and she said, no, don't make me so big. So then we could go like this, but I've got a couple things that I want to show you, and I'm going to switch my camera view anyway. So I decided this works, but it's wonderful to have you, Renee. And thank you, friends, new members. We're so thrilled that you are here with us. And today's going to have a couple elements to it. One is I'm going to do a presentation, just kind of walk through a couple really just welcome things. And then Renee has done a couple videos for us. So she's really going to walk us through the membership and how you can get the most out of it. Now, in the past, I've done that part of it, but we have the person who knows the most about the ins and outs of the membership and how it works and the questions that we receive on a regular basis is Renee. So she's going to walk through it with you, and it's going to be a very thorough kind of look at it. So hopefully it will address some of the questions that you do have potentially right now, but in the future, at the end of this time, we will also take any questions that you have. So just want to shout out, say thank you for being here. I see Jessica, Linda, Trisha, Barbara, Jennifer, Michelle, Louie, Bonnie. Thank you for being here. We're excited to get going. So you did it, guys. And you took the leap. You joined Acrylic University, and you know what this calls for? So I just want you to do this with us. Renee, see if we can figure this out, okay?
I can't figure this out. Okay.
You got to go like this.
No.
High five all around. Boom, boom. There we go. Down in the corner. The other way, Renee. See my hand?
I can't do it. Sorry.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But if you're watching right now, I just want you to do that around in the air around you. And but there's people all around that are doing that. So remember these things as you're coming into Acrylic University. Sustained breakthrough requires consistent daily action. Now, that doesn't mean that if you want to grow in your art that you have to paint every day. It doesn't mean that you have to do something, but the idea of consistency and the idea of making even just a daily habit out of something, it could be incredibly small, but maybe it's just once a day you want to observe one thing in nature that you can apply to the way that you think, whatever it is. But consistency is so helpful. Also, remember that your inner critic will always show up. And it's always a battle for us to not allow that inner critic to kind of hold us back. And I love if you've, of course, seen Finding Nemo or Finding Dory. Dory just has that saying, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And that's really the way that I like to think about this journey too, is just keep moving forward. That inner critic, might not go away. It might not be that easy to silence, but just keep moving forward anyways. And you will create new thinking, new beliefs, new habits, and a new normal for yourself. And the new normal is what the goal is to say, it doesn't matter that I have these thoughts that want to hold me back. I'm creating a new normal. Who wants to create a new normal that is moving forward? Can I hear a couple of shout outs? I want to create a new normal. I need more Dory moments. Yes, Dory. Dory is amazing. Because what we remember about this is, and I'm waiting to see somebody say, I want a new normal. There we go. Roar. Yes, me. Heck yeah, me, please. There we go. because remember this, guys. George O'Keefe is a great example of somebody who says, I've been absolutely terrified every moment of my life, and I've never let it keep me from doing one single thing. And if she can do it, then you can do it, and I can do it. So let's move with that in mind, because I love this quote. Don't you love this quote, you guys? An artist cannot fail. It is a success to be one. So this is going to end in success as long as we just stay on the path. So the path is the success. Remember who you are, you guys. Remember, any guesses on what I'm going to show you next? This is who you are. This is your creative genius. This is your courage that is going to continue to come through, and it's going to continue to overpower, like what, if you think about your fear, what animal is going to contend with the lion on the on the plains of Africa, right? There's nothing. I mean, they'll take down large animals. They'll take down anything. And so you have that courage in you, and it can take down all sorts of fears and all sorts of insecurities. Remember that, you guys. Okay, yes, be the lion. Yes, it started at 10. We just got going. And really, this is where we're going to get going here. Is now it's time. Like I said, Renee made a couple videos here. So there's going to be about 25 minutes, 24 minutes here where Renee's going to walk through what it looks like on the inside, how you can get places, what you can expect. And we will be in the chat answering some questions. If you do have questions that pop in your head, don't be afraid to ask them. We'll answer what we can in the chat while we're going through this. But then at the very end, if you still have questions, we will take time to answer them directly there as well. So
yeah, we were talking before. I feel like a lot of your questions will be answered in the video. So you might want to just hang on to it till the end. Because I did answer a lot of questions, but if you have something burning and you have to ask it, just feel free to ask it.
Okay. Wonderful. So what the other thing I just want to explain is that Renee is calmer and more thorough than me. That's why we think that this will be more helpful for you in the long run. I would give you kind of a lot more generalities and things like that, but Renee will be a little bit more precise with her words here, and it will be helpful. So again, we're going to start this, and we'll be back on here at the end to answer any questions that you have. So enjoy.
Hey, this is Renee Dorsey. We are so glad that you've joined Acrylic University. I am part of the team, and I'm going to do a run through of your membership. Part of my job is to make sure this site is accessible to you and fun to use. So I'm going to show you some things here. When you want to log into your account, go to acrylicuniversity.com. And then just sign in here. On my computer, there's a button up there on the right side. So I've already been logged into my account, but if it were you, there would be a place to enter your email address and a password. So you just do that. When you join, you may have set that account up already, so you should be ready to go. If you ever need help signing in, you forgot your password or anything like that, just feel free to email us. And our email is support@acrylicuniversity.com, but you can also just reply to any email that you've received from us, and we'll see that, and we can help you with your password. When you go into your account, you'll see Start Here. the journey and the journey and the library. So we're gonna start here. Jed created a welcome video for you at the top there. And these are links. So new member orientation, you are there right now, then October calendar and new member challenge. So these are live links. So if you go here, click on there, you'll see the calendar. So that's the calendar for October coming up real quick. And I create one of these calendars for you guys every month. And you'll see that in the journey, in the library, you'll see it on your email. You'll see it in the Facebook community. So I put it lots of places for you. And there's a new member challenge you can check out. It's basically a checklist of some tasks to do to familiarize yourself with your membership. So you can work through that, and that's just for fun for you. You don't need to show it to us or anything, but it will help you. And down here, if you scroll down, you'll see a bunch of different modules. I'm not going to touch on all of them. I will ask you if you could spend a little time in the FAQ section. There's no videos in these modules. There's just written content down here. And that is also like the lessons in the library where usually there's a video at the top, and then if you scroll down, there's written content. So a lot of your questions will probably get answered down here. If they don't, you can always email us, but I think it will be helpful for you to read that before you get started. And in the future, if you have questions, you can always come back here. And the other thing I want to touch on was emails you want to receive. So we send an email out every Monday. It's the weekly update, and it has links, just what's going on. We do member spotlights in there. So if you share a painting in the Facebook community, you might see your painting highlighted in there. We share what's coming up. We share Jed's been working on a cool painting. We like to put that in there. It's usually try to keep it interesting, but full of really helpful information for you for the week. So you'll want to make sure that we are in your contact list. So if you go into emails you want to receive, there's some instructions on there. If you're not receiving our emails, you'll want to email us and let us know that, and we'll try to troubleshoot that with you. It's really important that you get those. We have information in the Facebook community always also, but not everybody's part of the community, or you might miss something in there. So make sure you're on our email list. And then in the sidebar here, we have join the community and supply list. So if you click on there, that will take you right to the Facebook community. So you can join there, and there's a post at the top, like a new member post, so you can introduce yourself there. We'd love to meet you. And then the supply list, that will open up a document for you that you could print out if you'd like. So this is a general Acrylic University supply list to get you started. When you go into some of the individual courses, sometimes there are extra supplies for that course, for that specific course, but this is sort of a general list. And if you have questions about this, please feel free to email us. Also at the top here, there's a link to order supplies at Blick Online. This is for if you live in the US, you can order supplies online from Blick. We order quite a bit from here, and we really like them. The prices are good, and it just comes right to our doorstep. So there's a list put together. Even if you don't live in the US, you might find this helpful just to actually see the supplies we're recommending, and then be able to find those where you live. Okay, so that's your start here area, and in a minute here, I'll move on to the journey. Thanks. This is, I'm going to show you the journey part of your membership. And so the journey is all about the live classes that we do. We host them on private YouTube links on Fridays at 10 o'clock Pacific time. And then after they're done, later that day, maybe the next day, we upload them here into the journey for you. And those classes are 1 to 2 hours long, depending on what they are. So this is your go-to place. So if an event has happened and because of your schedule you weren't able to make it, you can always go here and watch the class. And overview of the journey, if you click there, we've written out the structure of the classes. So every month there's a different landscape theme. So for October, it's Trees of Life. And I've outlined here, so for the next few months, the first Friday of the month, Diana will do a workshop. The second Friday, Jennifer Bowman will do a demo for you. The third Friday of the month, Jed will do a session called Discover Your Voice. And the fourth Friday of every month, Jed will do critiques. And actually, Brian Buckrell, an artist from British Columbia, is going to do some critiques for us in November and December. So there is a structure to each month. We'll repeat these until Christmas time. And then in the new year, we'll follow a similar structure. We just haven't worked out the details of that yet. But what I want to say about this is you are all coming here. Some of you have been painting for a week. Some of you have been painting for your whole life. We're all coming with different experience and skills and time, resources. And so we've tried to create these events to be the most useful and helpful for the most members. The workshop with Diana, she really does teach to all levels. I feel like she always starts with the basics and then goes on from there. So I would encourage, if you're a beginner artist, I would really encourage you to go to her workshop. So for October, it will be based on the theme Trees of Life. And the second Friday, Jennifer Bowman, she'll be doing a demo for us. So unlike Diana, who has more structured slide presentations and is very just super thorough, Jennifer, it's just more of a demo presentation, and she'll be painting and teaching as she's painting, but it won't be as structured and formal as Diana. So they have very different teaching styles. Jennifer, yeah, she's very fun. She's very interesting and a really amazing artist. So I think you'll enjoy that. And then Discover Your Voice with Jed Dorsey. So at the beginning of the month, we'll provide a reference photo for you. And so you can paint from that photo, and you have 2 or 3 weeks to work on that painting. And as you have questions come up about interpreting that photo, you'll have a chance to ask a question. So we'll provide you with a link to a Google form and you can ask a question. And then at Jed's session on that third Friday of the month, he will answer your questions and he will do his own painting of that same photo. So we are really hoping to help some of you, especially if you've been painting for a while, discover your own voice. There's a lot of lessons in the membership where you can just basically copy what Jed or Diana is doing, but we want to give you an opportunity to think for yourself how you would interpret a photo or how you would add your own color. Or so we're hoping that this will help in that, and that Jed will help you think through who you are and who you are as an artist and what your own style is. So that'll be the third Friday. So I would say that would be more for artists who've been painting for a while. And then the critiques, I feel like an artist of any level could benefit from those critiques. We can't critique everybody's painting because it would be too many, but every month we will choose a few paintings to critique. At the end of every month, we'll give you a link to submit a painting from the month, any painting you choose, and you can share when you submit it, what you loved about your painting, and if your painting was chosen for critique, what would you like to get feedback on? So And then at the end of the month, there'll be some critiques of a few of those paintings. So that's our system right now with submitting a painting and then having a few critiques. And we've gotten some really good feedback from our members recently about those critiques. And even if your painting isn't being looked at, there's just so much. The members are really learning a lot just from watching others have their own work critiqued. So, and there's some information down there. So that's how the journey works, or the weekly classes. And then there's the October calendar that I already mentioned to you before. There's a link here. Click here for the next live class. So we update this weekly. So you will get links for classes on email. They will be in the Facebook community. But if for some reason you can't find the link, you can always log into your account, go to the journey and go here, and the upcoming class will be here for you. So as I'm recording this, the orientation is the next event, so that's what's here. But moving forward, we'll update that soon, and update that with on the 30th. There's going to be a Q&A session on Friday, September 30th. So we'll put that link in there soon for you. And then if you scroll down, there's actually a lot down here. So just make sure you don't miss this. These are all the Friday events. So I've set up the structure here already. So October, if you click on that, there's our theme. And then here's the whole week coming up. So this is basically also a schedule and a calendar. And if you click on Workshop with Diana Shine, I need to add the info for her workshop, but there will be a supply list that you can download. There will be reference photos in here. So before the workshop, you can come here and get that information. And then after the workshop, we'll upload the video. So where this painting is of these trees, there'll actually be a video there. So you can come back here after the workshop and watch that. And it'll be there for you as long as you're a member. It won't go away. So you can drill down into all those weeks, and then those are the months coming up this fall. So that's all ready to go, and we'll just be adding to that and building that as the fall goes. And then in the sidebar, same thing, the supply list, join the community, submit homework is what I was referring to before about submitting one painting from the month. So this is the link for September homework. So you guys could add a painting here. And there's some instructions there that would be really important for you to read. This is partly just like a celebration of all the work that's being done in the community. And we encourage members to share in the Facebook community if they're Facebook users, and share every day. Share whatever you're working on. Ask for feedback if you want feedback from other members. But yeah, this is just a chance to share one painting that you would like to share. So here's the form. So you write your name, your email, you upload your painting, and then there's a couple questions. And then we ask you, would you like your painting to be critiqued? So, because not everybody wants that. So, and I should say, computers work the best with this form. I found that if members are using phones or iPads, sometimes they have some issues. So if you can at all, I would encourage you to try to use a computer if you have one or have access to one. So it looks like a couple members have already submitted paintings, Pauline and Gunjan. So good job. And then if you click on it, you can see their notes. How do you feel about your painting? What did you learn from it? Is there anything in particular you'd like feedback on? So, and then if you click on that again, the painting comes up. Let's see how to, oh yeah, I'll X out of there. Okay, so after you submit your painting, you will get a confirmation on your email that we received it. And if you refresh your page after you put in your painting, you'll see your painting is on the top row here. And then as others submit after you, your painting will get moved down, but it's still there. Okay, I'm back here. Okay, and then if you, at any point, if you want to upgrade your membership, there's a button there for you. And there's just a really simple form to fill out that goes to our email, and then we'll be in touch with you. So if you've joined as a monthly member and you're doing it for a few weeks and you really, you want to be an annual member, you can do that. And if you do that within the first 30 days, we'll actually refund you for that first month. So you might want to think about that. But that's the journey. The last part of your membership is the library. And the first thing I want to say about it is basically don't be overwhelmed by it. There are over 200 lessons in here for you. But like we've written at the top here, you would never walk into a library and say, oh no, this is way too many books. How am I going to read all these? That's not the expectation here in the library. There's a lot of really amazing resources here and learning tools for you. But don't put pressure on yourself to get through everything in a certain amount of time. Like if you've joined for a year and you feel like, oh no, I'm going to have to finish all these. I'm never going to be able to do that. So just think of this as like your local library that you can walk into and use the resources that are most helpful and most interesting to you. So the overview of the library is basically, I'll just show you. At the top there's FAQs that I would suggest that you take a look at, and then it's basically in 3 sections. So there's 4 101 courses here. Those are the basics that, especially if you're just starting to paint or just starting to paint in acrylic, I would recommend that you finish those 101 courses before going into anything else. And the second part is the landscape modules. It looks like one course, but when you go in here, there's actually 12 landscape modules, and they're all on landscape themes. So if you scroll down, you'll just see them in a really long list. And when we set that up, I don't know, it feels like it's a lot in here. So I'm sorry if that seems like a lot. We are working on it a little bit right now, just labeling what module all those lessons are. So we put trees here. And then we're trying to work on it so that it's easy to find things. But if you go into the Welcome to Landscape modules, and they're all listed here, and then say you wanted to do clouds, if you go to clouds, it'll take you right to the intro to clouds. So if I were you, I would use that. Okay, and then there's this list here. I'm going to go back to the main page that we were just on. Okay, so that's part 2 of landscape modules, of the library. And then the last part I would just say is everything else. So that's kind of a big bucket, but that's the easiest way, I think, to think of the libraries: the 101 courses, the landscape modules, and then these one-off courses down here. So Diana Shine has taught these 2. This is Jez, the plein air one, and master classes and paint alongs. So if you came into the membership through the master class, you can come here and we will be uploading the last master class into here. So you can see the one from March is in here, but you will have access to those in this master class module. And there is 2 pages in the library, so don't miss that. The only thing on the second page is resource photo library. So if you go here, you can access a library of photos, mostly Jed's photos, but a while ago we were having members contribute photos there. So there's a pretty good selection for you to paint from if you just need some inspiration, you want to get away from the lessons for a bit and take a break and just paint something on your own. So that's a really good resource. And I just wanted to show you, oh, yes, there's the October calendar again. And then there's this button. So if you've been working on a lesson and then you leave and you come back the next day or the next week and you don't remember where you were, or you just need help getting back to where you were, just go to that button and it'll take you where you left off. So that can be helpful for you. And then also, if you go into Acrylic 101, I wanted to show you what a typical lesson looks like. So this is just the intro section, but this is the first lesson. And we've put the length of each lesson here for you so you know what you're committing to before you go into that one. So there's the video at the top, and then I just don't want you to miss, there's written content with almost everything in this library. The journey doesn't have as much written content, but we've really worked hard on providing that because we know that everybody learns differently, and sometimes it's just super helpful to see stuff in writing. So we did that. And if you're watching the video, of course, you can enlarge it so you can see it better. And this little gear shift here, you can speed it up, which I watch a lot of videos double time. So just so you know, you can speed that up, but you can also stop this video if you're painting along with the lesson and you need to go back and watch something, or you just need to catch up or whatever. Oh, you can even slow it down. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, and then at the bottom of each lesson, there's a button marked as complete. So if you do that, and then you go back, and then if you refresh your page, that little blue check mark is there. So it'll show you that you completed that one. So that's also a good way to keep track of what you've been working on and see your progress. If I were you, I think I would probably just have a notebook where I write down which lessons I've completed just to help me keep track and to have just a physical kind of reminder on paper for myself. And I think that's everything in there, except I just wanted to show you, if you go to the top right, there's a search function here. So during the master class, Jed was teaching about negative painting on that last day, and I know a lot of people found that pretty challenging. So if you're looking for a specific topic, you can just type it in here, and then everything about negative painting will come up. So there's 12 results there. So that's also a good way to find something specific. If that topic is in the written content, it will show up. And like I said, in the journey, it doesn't work quite as well because we don't have as much written in there, but in the library, it works pretty well. Then, okay, I think that's it. The only other thing I wanted to show you was in the Facebook community. If you're using Facebook, at the top here, there's a featured section at the top of the group. And so I've done this welcome new member post. And I post announcements in here almost every single day about what's coming up, or sometimes we ask members to share their photos in here that are related to the theme, or share a success, or what's on your easel, and just fun kind of announcements, but also just things to encourage you guys. But there's an arrow here, and if you just scroll along that arrow, you can see all the announcements. And then if you click on it, it'll come up. So I want you to know about that feature, and I want to remind you to look there. Sometimes I'll post an announcement in here, and then a few minutes later, a member will post the question right under it that I just answered. So just keep your eyes open for that, and remember to look and see what's current. And yeah, just encourage you to, just be encouraging to other members. This is a really just a fun space, and we really enjoy the community, and we love seeing your work. So please share, and just be part of this community. Yeah, and that's all I have. And as always, just email us if you have questions. Just reply to an email you've received, or email support@acrylicuniversity.com. Thank you.
Okay. So wasn't that great? Thank you, Renee, for doing such a good and thorough job of explaining that. Wasn't that helpful, everybody?
I
Learned
hope
a
it
lot.
was. I am a detail person, so sometimes I get into too much detail, but if you ever need to watch it again, just use that double speed feature and you can speed it up.
Yeah, that's the benefit of being able to go back and watch the replay of something, is that you can always speed it up, slow it down, do whatever. But if you guys have any questions that are still kind of remaining, yeah, look at that, Renee. Thank you, Renee. Lots of people. So yeah, you can always refer back to that. There's the frequently asked questions that Renee also referred to in the start here section. And so a lot of questions you have do get asked quite often, right? And so we've Renee, let me just clarify. Renee has done an amazing job of helping make things organized and as straightforward as possible. Now we know that if we're using Facebook and we're using the site and there are links that go to a live event on YouTube, that sometimes in our minds we can get a little bit confused, and we understand that. So always know, though, if you ever are wondering, how do I get to a live event? You can always go to the journey. If you're ever wondering, how do I watch one of the live events that already happened? Go to the journey. That's going to be your place that will have all those links updated, and we will upload the previous live events right there. So the journey is really a hub for you to kind of, if all else fails, go to the journey, right? That's kind of the way it's built. And okay, so let's see, Renee. I see a question here. Let's see if I can show this. Can I use my own photos that I can sell, auction off for my charity? And will you critique work that is from our own photos? Oh, absolutely. I did a critique session. You know, I mean, and basically, the way that I do it is I print these off and I paint directly on them. And so it's actually really, really, really cool. Like you can see kind of the way that it's kind of a very visual thing, but that's totally from somebody's own reference photo and their own family and everything like that. So I because it takes time to do that, I have to go through and I just choose a few photos and a few pieces of homework or whatever you guys have turned in, and I think, well, what would be helpful for people? What are some things that I see that are maybe common among more paintings, and then find a painting that I can demonstrate that for the benefit of everybody.
Hey, Jed, I saw Barbara was asking about streaming the lessons to TV, and I did answer that in the FAQ section. On our TV, we can only stream public events on YouTube. These lessons are on private links on YouTube. So as far as I know, you can't stream it on your TV.
Oh, okay.
Unless what we've done sometimes is we'll have a laptop and we'll have a cable from the laptop to the back of the TV. Jed set this up, and then we could watch a lesson.
Yeah, so I guess it does depend on how you have it connected, because what Renee's saying is if we go on our YouTube app on the TV, we will not find the event because it's hidden. We make events on YouTube because their chat feature is the best. There's nothing else like it. We've looked into lots of options. I tried to figure out a way that we could do things all in-house, have it live on our site. But really, there's nothing that works like the YouTube chat and everything. So that's why we do it there. But of course, it's a private event that is for you guys, the members, and not for the general public. So we have to hide it. And that's why you can't usually find it from an app on your TV, whereas you can click a link on your computer and get there. So if you can connect it through your computer, yes, you can do it, but otherwise.
Yeah, and same thing with the lessons that are on our site. I don't think you can stream them to your TV. Yeah.
I see this. I want to say Minimint. I love that. I don't know if that's your real name or if that's like a nickname, but will you ever be doing portraits? And so I do think that, man, one of my most challenging workshops I ever went to was a portrait workshop. And I have this real strong desire to do some small, like really small miniature paintings. Now, here's the deal. We have so much content on Acrylic University, and it's very overwhelming a lot of times for people. And when we put more stuff on there, it can feel like it's too much. And so what we do is we really try to kind of meter out what we do. You know, like, okay, we're going to give you one thing every week that you can work on, one thing that you can be thinking about, because more than that can really feel overwhelming. But we also have something called the Miniature Painting Challenge. And that is a separate thing. It's actually kind of like a totally separate little wing over here that we do. And that is where we have some of these different things that we want to develop, where it would be a concentrated look at something like that. And so we will do some stuff with portraits. There will probably be some times when Diana or somebody else can look at that. Maybe one of our guest artists can come in and do that on one of the workshop weeks that we have with, or demo week with a guest artist. And then we also might do something over here on this other miniature challenge kind of thing. But that's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, mostly we're focusing on landscapes.
Yeah.
Diana did do a workshop, and she included some teaching on figures in the landscape. It was in a module last February, I think. It was a oceans and beaches module. When you go to your membership, you'll also see a journey archive, and that's all the live classes we did from last October through September, just this fall. So you guys should check that out also. I didn't mention that, but if you go to the oceans and beaches module, Diana did teach on figures in landscape. So not portraits, but we're trying to incorporate different subjects when it's relevant to landscapes. So
yeah. Anisha asks, do you have a session on how to copy or print your art to sell to many buyers? And no, we don't have a session on that, but we can talk about it. I can give you like a real quick, well, I don't know exactly what your question is, but you need to have a really high quality photo or a professionally scanned image of your painting. And then you can find lots and lots of places online that will do it. What I recommend is I would test a supplier like a print place and get one back, and maybe a couple different images, and see what the quality is like, and see what their options are for printing, and then go with the one that you think you like the best. But if you want more information, go ahead.
Yeah, we do have questions about the business of art, and we've decided to just focus on painting, developing your skills as an artist. There are other sites and that teach on how to sell your art and create your business and create a website and all this, but it's a whole different focus. So we're just focusing on painting skills in this membership.
Yeah, for the most part, it is that we've had certain things. But hey, Renee, look at this. I'm streaming right now.
That's awesome.
You should be able to cast it to your TV. Oh, whoops. I just connected through my YouTube app.
Oh, cool.
I to my TV just fine. So,
That's awesome. I'm glad.
So anyways, some of you are doing a great job. We will try to figure it out so that we can give more better instructions in the future. Okay, let's see. I'd like to ask, if we don't know how to start to paint a picture or tried and failed to do it, can we submit photos to you to get an idea of how to execute the painting? You know, I would say you can submit them in the Facebook group. That'd be where I would go first, because what you have there is you have hundreds of people who are really amazing people and good artists. They have a good eye for that. And so if you were to submit something, you could put it in as your homework. You know, you could submit something that way and ask, but basically you would just be relying on me choosing it. And I have a limited number that I can choose specifically. But if you throw it into the Facebook group, you will have, pretty much a guarantee that somebody's going to look at it and kind of help you think through it, right? So that's where I think you'll get the best immediate kind of help for your questions. Okay. Yeah, like I see so many people saying that they can cast it to their TV, no problem.
Well, you guys should email us and tell us how you're doing that. Well, some of you have. You said through a YouTube app, through Bluetooth.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's so good.
If you guys send me more information, I'll put it in the FAQ section because we do get that question pretty often.
Kate, I think that this is a great idea. And that was actually what popped in my head as we're talking, is that I think we can think about that, because I know that there are people, even like I was saying for myself, I would love to grow in that myself. So we'll keep that in mind. Let's see what this question is. Is there an advantage to purchasing the larger tubes of paint? Is there a shelf life? Should I be concerned about the larger tube drying up? No, you should not be concerned, because you should be painting so much that it doesn't matter. And there's really not a shelf life. I mean, nothing that I think you would have to worry about, because I've had paint in tubes, and the tubes are, they're sealed. There's no air that gets in there, and air is the thing that's going to kill the paint and dry it out. So as long as you don't have a lot of air gap in there, you'll be fine.
But you guys, we're actually going to have a Q&A next Friday. So if you have painting related questions, I'd love if you could just keep those, and you'll be seeing a link within the next few days to ask a question. And so we'll just have a big all member Q&A. So you're free to, just keep your painting questions till then.
Michelle, we do not limit our content only in the way that we do live events. So like I said, it's just in the matter of, if you have something every day, you don't know how many times we have people who feel overwhelmed. And so we're constantly trying to tell people, don't worry, go at your own pace. You're not behind. This isn't a course. This is different than what you did in school. And so you can see, go into the library and you can see there's tons and tons and tons and tons of content. We keep adding to it. We keep doing things. We're going to be releasing a perspective course here in just a little bit. We continually put in full courses, plus all the live events and all of that. So it's definitely not that we're trying to limit it. It's just that we don't want to overwhelm people. Let's see. Where can I find the mini painting challenge? That you'll see. Eventually, we'll have links on the places for you.
Yeah, that's something that you purchase separately from the membership, and we'll start selling it in November again, and then it'll officially start January 1st. So,
well, and it's like, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying members ask about it. But yeah, it's a separate thing. But we'll share information about that with you later this fall.
And it's totally optional. That's part of it, is that it's very optional, because it basically doubles up what you would do. Okay. Oh man, there's so many so many people who are giving advice on the
On the TV.
On that TV. Yeah. Where do you post the monthly picture that we can paint for critiquing? Okay. So Sheelin, great question. So there's two things. One, it will come in the email that you get at the beginning of the month. Two, it's not for critiquing. What it is it's for painting on your own and trying to work through things. If you feel like you're in a place where you want to grow on and discover your own voice, and why we call it discover your voice is because you can be a beginner painter, and discovering your voice as a beginner means I'm just trying to just think about when you're learning how to talk. You're just learning the words. So when you're learning how to paint, you're learning the language of art. You're learning the language of painting, and you're learning how to describe things in any way that you can, right? When you progress with your words vocally, you begin to have your own unique thoughts that come out. Even as kids, our daughter, she expresses herself different than me and different than Renee. And so you start to see that grow and grow more and more as she grows up. And as you develop, you will, learn, oh, I know how to do this with paint. Now, what would I do now that I know that? How would I use that skill to grow my voice? And so you could be a beginner, and maybe a beginner is just going to follow along with me and paint exactly as close to what I do as possible, because you're just learning, just like a child who's like just copying what they see done, because that's the first way that we learn how to paint and learn these skills. But there are other people who will be a little bit further down the road, and they might get the reference photo and say, oh, I know what I'm going to do with that. I want to apply this style to it. I want to think about this. And so, and that's my idea. Now, listen, I haven't done this before. I have ideas, but I want it to be something where we explore different styles, where we kind of look at different techniques and try to think through, what if you went in that direction with your art? Who likes that? I did something this summer at a workshop, a live workshop, where I showed some people a painting, and I talked about how I did this kind of tiled effect in the sky. And this one woman, I was going to say girl because she's younger than me, and anybody who's younger than me I always think of as a girl. But she was, I think it was the first time she'd seen that effect. She went on the whole week. That was on Monday, I think. And by the end of the week, every painting that she did in that style. It was just something that resonated with her and that made sense to her, and she thought it was cool, and she figured it out. And Renee, weren't they cool paintings?
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah, they're really cool. So that's kind of the goal of that. Now, I will hopefully be able to look at some of those in the critique sessions, or at least one of them or something like that. But they're not going to be necessarily everyone is going to have that critique. That's what I just want to make sure you understand.
Yeah. So what Jed's talking about is the Discover Your Voice on the third Friday of every month.
Yeah.
But critiques are when we collect a painting a month from each of you. It's optional, of course, and then Jed will choose a few of those to critique.
Thank you for this question, Itala. I love abstract landscapes. Is it okay to send those types of paintings to the critique sessions? I'm enjoying the membership so far. Well, glad you're enjoying it. And yes, it's totally okay. We want to look at exactly what you're doing. So again, you have to understand that you'll be lucky if your painting gets chosen, your actual painting gets chosen for a critique. That's not a guaranteed at all. The critique sessions, but you can, I'll say that you'll be lucky because there's a limited number that we can do in the time we have. And there are a lot of people who submit their paintings for it. So like I said before, I'm going to be looking for things that will help the most people, right? But we also have a critique that you can pay for. Like Diana does very thorough critiques that you can pay money. Just, I think, what are they, Renee?
They're $99, but she creates a personal video for you. She actually spends hours on these. They are amazing. Like,
it's like the best deal in the world, because basically you're getting her to do it for not that much money per hour. Because she's like so thoughtful.
She'll do 2 or 3 paintings for you, and she'll create like a 20-minute video or longer for you on a private link that you can watch.
So if you have specific questions and you go, I need this painting critiqued, I need to know what to do, I need help with this, we have that option. You can always send it in, and Diana is your person. She's so good at that, and so that's where you would get anything like that for sure looked at.
But Jed, can I say something else? We should wrap it up in a few minutes here, but if you want feedback on your paintings, I've seen so much amazing feedback in the Facebook community, because they are really, really experienced, talented, and very helpful artists in there who've been painting a long time, and I've seen some incredible feedback. So if you want it, though, you need to ask for it and let people know. But I encourage you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. So that's another way to get feedback on your paintings.
Your Facebook group, the actual Acrylic University community, is going to be your best place for so many things. If you want help with a business idea, throw it out there to the Acrylic University community. There's people who are already doing things. They're figuring things out. They have their own websites. They're selling paintings. Do it there. Ask for help with that. If you've ever been to a workshop, what I do at my in-person workshops is at the very end of the week, we usually have a time where we look at people's paintings as a group. As a group, we look at them and we kind of give people feedback if they want feedback on one painting. And you know what? I am just one small part of that. Everybody else is a huge part of that. They say so many helpful things that honestly, usually what happens is I say, hey, what do you guys think of this painting? And you get, oh, this person says this and this and this and this, and they're observing things and they're noticing things and they're super helpful. And then by the time it comes to me, I'm like, yeah, what they said. I don't have anything more to add because they already did it. So don't ever think that the Facebook group and the Acrylic University community is less than me. If only Jed would have said something about it. No, you guys have really good eyes and you have really good thoughts on all this stuff. So sometimes it's just getting another person's perspective on it that is the most important thing.
Okay, do you want to take 2 more questions, Jed, and then we'll wrap it up?
2 more questions.
Okay.
I don't know if I see 2 more questions though. Yeah, look at that. As a writer and editor, I always get so many takeaways from critiques of the work of others. Yeah, art is the same way. And so that is the point, because I do know that what's helpful about if I do a critique is that it will be visual in front of you, mixing paint, putting it on a painting. And sometimes that's the most helpful way to see something change. And that can't always happen on Facebook, but you can get lots of good input from other people. Okay, let's see.
And somebody was asking about going to Facebook. Facebook and Acrylic University, we're completely different site. Yeah. So the password for Facebook is your
It's your own personal. You have your own personal Facebook account, and it's totally separate. We have no access to that at all. But we just are able to allow you into our community.
Yeah, but also know that you don't have to use Facebook to be part of the membership. You have access to everything on the site that I showed you in those videos. So you can still be learning and growing and going to the live classes on the YouTube links. So don't let that stop you.
Chatting with people. chatting with people. That's another reason why we moved everything to, we used to do live events on Facebook, and we realized that there's a number of people that don't want to use Facebook, and that's totally fine. If I had a better alternative, I would use it in a heartbeat, because I don't want anybody to not be participating if they want to. But the thing is that it's the best option for us. It just is right now. And I've looked into, you don't even know how many times, hours and hours and hours, I've looked into all sorts of options for different things. And we just have not found something that's better.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I thought I saw, oh shoot. I saw that there was a quote. I just had it up there that said, I hope here it is. I hope the critiques are not too critical. No, they're not too critical. But if you're and we even have a place, if you're putting your painting in and you don't want it publicly critiqued, like as homework, you put it in as homework, and you can just say, no, like, I don't want it to be critiqued. And that's totally fine too. But we're not. It's always going to be clothed with lots of encouragement, because you guys are awesome. And
Kathy Flores says she's just seen a lot of encouragement in the community, not a lot of feedback. But like I said, you have to ask for it. And if you do ask for it, people will be helpful in that way. So you just have to ask, let them know. But Jed,
you do need to ask, but it's time to go. We like to keep these events as close to an hour as possible, because it can get overwhelming and people feel like anyways, we're done here. That's all we're going to say. Next week. Now, what do we have next week, Renee?
Well, yeah, on Monday, look for the email from us with what's happening. But next Friday will be an all-member Q&A. So you can submit any questions you have. And
you have to understand, are they going to submit questions live?
We're going to collect them beforehand. And
okay.
Maybe we'll take some live if we get, I don't know, we'll see.
So this is going to be a chance where if you have something pop in your head throughout the week, and if you're watching this on replay and you know that you're not going to be at the live event next week because you're working or something like that, this is your chance to write in your questions. Renee will put that in the email, and you'll have a chance to write your question out so that we look at it during the live event, answer it during the live event, but you don't have to be there to ask your question. The other thing I want to say is I'm going to look for a way. I think Q&As are boring and like kind of lame. So I'm going to be looking for a way to make it fun next week. And
we'll give some prizes.
Yeah, we'll probably give away something. And I'll probably also will actually have a portion where I do a demo or something like that. So anyways, guys, we love you. We believe in you. And we're so thankful that you are part of Acrylic University. Remember that you are bold as a lion. You are creative and courageous. Renee, thank you for all your help with everything, and especially for making those videos for today to make it very clear in our communication, people.
Yeah, thanks for being here, everyone.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Make sure you have a really great weekend. Bye.